Shout out to everybody. So a lot of people are now, I think, going to be getting their Superman movies. I do want to get my home theater impression of the Superman movie. First of all, I do want to say I heard mixed reviews of it. I did not see this in the theater. My girl seen it in the theater, and she said that, you know, it sounded really good. Me and her go to like theater conventions and stuff like that and listen to different, you know, Audio Vice Live, CDia, Exponent, all of that. We go to different we like speakers. We listen to a lot of different things, and she said it sounded good in the theater, but I'm not a huge, you know, superhero fan, you know, so I kind of didn't want to see it. You know, I got Man of Steel. I thought that was really good. She said it sounded really good in the theater, but then I started hearing a lot of home theater reviews, and, you know, people saying it doesn't sound that good, the bass isn't really that good, they could have did more with the sound. So I'm like, well, let me just get it, right, and see what it sounds like. You know, it's on a Kaleidoscape. Yeah, it's a little bit expensive. Let me just get it, see what it sounds like. I will say this. I don't know what systems people are using, because I think one guy, Haterade, I think it was, I think he said he's got like a altitude 32 or altitude 16, a Trinoff, and he was listening to it, and he's got RS2 subwoofers. And he didn't like the way it sounded. I think he said that he didn't feel like it had any bass in the movie. I'll say it didn't have as much bass as I thought it should have, right? Like the kaiju scene, it's a lot of scenes I'm like, oh, they can really utilize more bass. Obviously, when the Superman's layer thing like comes out of the snow, like the icicle thing, that had like pretty decent bass. The dog, you know, when it came out or whatever, had like reasonable bass. Nothing great, I will say, but then again, it kind of makes me wonder like how people's systems are calibrated, right? Because I didn't think it sounded terrible, right? I thought there were like a lot of scenes to where they could have utilized maybe a musical score, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, because, you know, you get used to watching movies and you're like, oh, well, there should be music here. There should be something like intensifying the scene. And I think there was so many scenes that was missing from. You know, so I didn't like that with the movie. In terms of the visuals, I thought the visuals looked pretty decent. It was soft, you know, but there's a lot of CGI. They can't have super sharp images, then utilize CGI, because you will be able to see, you know, the green screen effects and stuff like that they would try to keep you from seeing. So as far as, it wasn't a super bright movie, but I thought it was decent looking. Like I didn't like hate the way it looked. I thought it looked pretty good. Sound wise, again, going back to, it's not a dynamic mix. You're not gonna, like, if you have a huge theater system, you got like 30 something speakers, it's not gonna dynamically move throughout the speakers. I think it's like locked at a 7.1.4 configuration, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, other than that, like, I think I thought it was all right, you know what I mean? And I don't know which y'all, I mean, I know one guy had a Trinoff, and I've heard Trinoff sound pretty good. Only thing I don't like about them is the audio sync issues, like where you see the video first before the audio, and it takes forever for the audio to catch up. That's what I don't like about the Trinoff. But the Trinoff, like, when I've heard them, I've heard about 5 different Trinoffs in my life, and they sound pretty good. So I don't understand why the guy Haterade thought it just sounded terrible. He did show his subwoofers. He's got RS1s. They did not move, like in his movie review. Mine did. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying my system is way better than his. You know, he's got RS1s. Those are dope subwoofers. I got PB4000s and, you know, like an Anthem Avium 90. Still in game, but Anthem. You know what I mean? It's not like one of these super high channel count systems. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the Anthem. You know what I mean? Maybe the Anthem is just really good. I don't know. Like, it sound, I mean, because we were like watching it, and I was like, does this sound bad to you? And she was like, no. And I'm like, it doesn't sound bad. It sounds like it could be more to it, right? Like I said, it's missing musical scores that should be there in the scenes. But like when the robots are being like destroyed, like you can hear all of that. Like when the woman, I can't remember her name is, like she comes in, she's like a robotic woman, like or whatever. Like she like sounded pretty good in the movie. It could have used more bass, right? It could have used, like, I don't know what the James Gunn, I think his name is, that did the Guardians of the Galaxies. I don't know if he was in control of all of that, to where they just decided to neuter the movie. Again, I didn't see this at the Dolby theaters, right? And sometimes like it may sound good in a Dolby theater and you get it home, it doesn't sound good. They do a soundbar mix. I don't know if it was that, but I mean like a lot of key movement pieces I heard, sounded good. It's just it did lack the amount of bass I would want from a movie. You know what I mean? I would say that, but it did have bass, and some scenes when the bass hit wasn't super low, but it was there, so overall, I mean, I didn't hook up. I've got a Anthem 1140 in the house. In here, I got a AVM 90. I've got like some different receivers. I got like a Onkyo RZ50. I've got a Denon 3800H. I had a Cinema 50. I sold that, but I didn't hook anything else up to it. Maybe if I would have hooked something else, it would have sounded different. But I don't know if just the Anthem just making it sound good. It sounded pretty good. It sounded good. Just not stellar, but it sounded good. You know what I mean? But definitely James Gunn, whatever your name is, do a better job. You know what I mean? Try to, you understand there are people who like sound, and I'm sure you understand that because Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was good, but then Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was, I don't know if he made 3 or not, but Guardians of the Galaxy 3 audio was just okay. It wasn't that great. You know what I mean? Guardians of the Galaxy 2 had really good audio, but this one wasn't as good as Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but it was decent. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to pay the price for the movie because the audio wasn't a knockout, because you want everything. But I think the visuals were like so good that it could kind of make you not think about the audio as much, the way they did it. I thought it was cool, but like I'm not a superhero fan at all. And I actually just got into Superman when I got Man of Steel. You know what I'm saying? I didn't read the comic books and nothing like that, but when I got Man of Steel, I started to like Superman because I felt like that guy did a really good job, like being Superman. Then it made me watch like the old original Superman that's on the Kaleidoscope in 4K, and I thought he did like really good. So I'm like, yo, like, how is this new guy gonna do? And I thought he was okay. I didn't, acting wise, it was all right. I didn't think he was terrible. I think it kind of was a little more TV showish. It didn't feel like super cinematic, but again, bringing it to the audio, I think they could have stepped it up with the audio. But then again, it comes down to your processors. Do you have any, a good processor or not? But I thought it was all right. I think shout out to Shane Lee. Shane Lee's got a trend off as well, like Haterade. And Shane Lee, he did like a review of it. And not to mention you in here, and you know what I mean? But he even said like he felt like the audio wasn't really that bad. And I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it could be better. Just it wasn't terrible. It just could be better. And I don't know. Maybe because I did like recalibrate my system with Arc Genesis. I did a SVS video, I think a little bit before, 2 videos before this one, where I talked about all of that. And so now my subs are like really where I want them to be. So it's, a lot of things really hit pretty decent for me, but I could tell it could be better, right, with the movie, so I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. What would I give it? Scale from 1 to 10. Visuals, I'll probably give it an 8. It was a little bit too soft, but I understand it. It was kind of like hued, a little weird, the movie. But it looked good, you know what I mean? So I give it an 8. As far as audio, I probably give it a 6. I think they could have did better with a bass. But it was, it was all right. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. Also, let me know this, y'all. What kind of processors, receivers do you guys have? Because I think that does make a big difference, right? In some of these movies. Because when I rewatch some movies that I used to watch with my Denon 3800H, and I watch them on my Anthem, they sound way better, obviously, on an Anthem, right? Or like when I had a Cinema 50, the movies sound way better on my Cinema 50 than they did with my Denon. You know what I mean? So it's just, it depends on what you got. The RZ50 that I have, I barely ever watch movies with. I usually just listen to, light 2-channel music with my Kef. Metas. I got some Metas. white metas, you know what I mean? I listen with those to the RZ50, nothing crazy, you know what I mean? But I thought it was all right. You know what I mean? Not great, but all right. But do better with the audio if you can, y'all. Y'all studios, y'all got people here critiquing y'all now. You know what I'm saying? But y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. Come rate, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. Also, final Fantastic Four just hit Kaleidoscape. So I'm going to end up buying that and watching it, and then I'll end up dropping a review probably tonight or tomorrow, giving you my thoughts on it. This will be my first time watching it. I did not see it in Adobe Cinema. A lot of times I just want to see them at home. You know what I mean? I love my theater, and when I go to the movies and watch them, they never sound as good as when I'm at home, you know? So that's why I don't really want to spend the money going out there, even though they got the big screen and all that. I like watching them at home. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody. I'm out, y'all. Peace.